Danielle, great to see you. I love your background. Where are you right now?
Thanks. I'm just at my house. This is my home office.
And can I assume, like everybody else, you've been living there for the last 2 years because of the pandemic?
I mean, basically, yeah, we actually sold and bought another house during the pandemic, so it was a bit worse. But we went through that whole fiasco. But yeah, being in the music room basically the whole time. Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, I've heard about people moving during the pandemic. I couldn't even think about it, especially in the beginning, where you weren't really sure what was what and how it got around or anything.
Yeah, I mean, when we sold our townhouse, it was like the beginning of when the market was crazy. So we didn't know it was like that. We just wanted to get a backyard for all of our dogs. So we sold, and then, it took us about 6 months until we actually got a house and got into a house and had the whole bidding process and went through all that. So luckily, though, we ended up with a house, which is all I can be thankful for.
Insane. But we're also
Yeah.
thankful for music from you, which we're going to talk about too. Was it tough during the pandemic for the recording process of creating music? And did your music style, I should say not your music style, but did your stories change because of the pandemic?
I mean, when I was first supposed to actually record, it was in March of 2020. It was like my recording day. And the day before I was set to record, the whole country shut down. So that influenced things a little bit. And then in the fall, though, I got to record and I got to actually spend a lot of time because there wasn't a lot going on. That was kind of the main focus for me and the people that worked on the project. So that was super nice.
Did Zoom became your best buddy?
It did. I think I should have invested. That's what everyone's saying.
Oh yeah, I say the same thing too. But I'll tell you something. Even now, as we slowly start to come out of this thing, I'm never giving up on Zoom. This is like for me a blessing. Um, Blessing, of course, is music. The love of music. Where did that all begin for you?
Oh, it started when I was younger. The stereotypical, like, grew up doing lots of theater and church choir and stuff like that. But when I was going into eighth grade, so like 12 years old, I decided that I wanted to teach myself how to play guitar and write my own songs, tell my own stories, and just kind of stemmed from there. And opportunities just rolled into one another and never stopped.
Who were your influences growing up?
Lots of the 90s country of Alan Jackson and Shania Twain and stuff like that. But then I feel like too, as you get older, you discover new artists and stuff and discover new things. Like I used to always hate the old country music when I was a kid. Then I discovered it when I was older and I was like, wow, I actually really love this. And I grew a liking to it. So yeah, I think that there's just so many influences as time goes on.
Was it the storytelling? Because the old country told some really amazing stories about life.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Loretta Lynn is one of my biggest influences, especially because the things she was talking about weren't things that you would talk about back then. And she was just so bold and just made such amazing statements and told great stories.
What do you like to tell in your stories?
Just about anything, honestly. I think the hardest thing is telling the story and making it actually come across well because sometimes you can have an idea for a song, but then when you write it out, you're like, oh my gosh, this is not this is not working out. So there's definitely a consistency of having to be able to tell the story, but also do it with a good melody and stuff like that. Yeah.
CCMAs and you have been very good partners and you've been able to evolve with the CCMAs. What were some of the honors that you've been part of with them?
I got to be a part of the CCMA Discovery program back in I think 2016, which was incredible. That was one of my best memories in the industry for sure. And that was just kind of we got to go to Toronto for a week and do industry stuff and just meet people, learn lots about the industry, and then also got to perform at the CCMA Awards later on. And then now I'm in the Sirius XM Top of the Country, which is also an honor. And I'm in the top eight for that, six for that, eight. It's eight. Sorry, I'm confused because I was just talking about the other one. Yeah, in the top eight for that, and yeah, it's been very very cool.
Congratulations on that because that is such an amazing launching pad. And I've been blessed to speak to a lot of people who've been involved with it and have moved on from that, but they've moved on forward. it's the same thing with you moving on forward because 604 Records and you are now family.
Yeah, totally. Yes, it's been cool.
When did, who approached who? How did this connection come about?
It was actually very random. I was kind of in an in-between moment. I had just kind of left the people I was working with before. I was kind of looking for new work, but not really. And I went to my buddy Jojo Mason was playing down at a brewery downtown. So I went down there, hanging out backstage, and I ran into Jonathan Simkin, who's the president of the label, and talked to him for a little bit. And basically, within 5-10 minutes, he was like, "Send me your stuff. We're looking for an artist," and kind of just went from there. And yeah, it was a huge blessing. So
Love JoJo. In fact, big congrats to him and his wife who are expecting. So
yes,
the
yes,
family is definitely growing.
yeah. I was actually there. I filmed like the video of the like announcement, gender announcement. Yeah, he's one of my good friends. So it's been cool to see him grow too.
I love that. Let's make a big
Yeah.
jump now because you've got a new single out. What is the new single called and what is it about?
It's called Take Me Back. And it's basically about being in a broken down relationship and just reflecting on back when times were good and wanting to be taken back to those moments. And it was kind of inspired to me actually by Instagram because I don't know if you've ever seen this, but people always post photos of them like in Mexico or like a cool trip they went on or whatever it is. And it's always captioned Take Me Back. And that just kind of inspired the title of the song for me.
Yeah, I see that. And to be quite honest with you, it drives me nuts. And here's why.
Right?
Because I've seen it where, especially when somebody just gets into a relationship and it's always, you are my angel wings of life and things like that. And then maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 months later, suddenly all those pictures of, and I don't know if they've got photographers following them around or whatever, but they're taking pictures of, and then suddenly they're gone.
Gone. Gone.
And you're like,
Yeah.
well, what happened to angel wings? What's going on here?
My favorite is it's always like somebody that I don't know. It's like someone I met at a conference like 10 years ago and I'm so invested. I'm like, what happened to him or her?
I'm that way
I
too.
like,
Personally
I don't know.
myself, I when it comes to relationships, I keep that stuff off of social media. I always feel like it's my personal. I will take pictures and I'll keep it to myself just because if it doesn't work out, which of course has happened, I don't have to go through it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Oh my goodness. I want to talk about the music video because I love what you did with this. It's so inspiring. Can you talk a little bit about it, please? Because it is something that you don't get to see a lot of times, but it's great to see because country music is growing and becoming diverse.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the video, I had this concept, going through the eras and being taken back through time. And I remember pitching the idea, and they were like, Danielle, that's wildly out of budget. Like, I don't know how you expect us to pull this off. And I was like, oh, of course, everything I do is always out of budget. Um, so I was like, okay, no problem, no problem. Let me think about it. So we actually shot that video in my grandma's house because I was like, what's a space that would work? And we could do that. So we did it at my grandma's house and somehow made, like, I think the coolest music video ever.
You definitely did because we're talking about a black and white couple. And that's the thing that I love so much. And I talk about the diversity and how country music has been changing for the
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. I think it's such a fun video.
It definitely is. With a great song, does an EP or album follow along with this?
My EP actually just came out on Friday. It just came out.
Ah!
Yeah, it just came out. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting. There's a few more songs for everyone to listen to and it's cool to share it too because like I said, I started working on it in 2020. So, it has been a couple years now to finally be able to share this. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Well, hold on. We got to get back to this. What is the EP called?
The EP is called Middle of the Madness, which I think sums up the years, and that's like the title track on it. So, yeah,
Oh my goodness! Congratulations with that.
thank
Does this
you.
mean now with this music and as things are slowly opening up, Does that mean touring? Does that mean making stops? And
I
do
mean,
one of
fingers
those
crossed.
stops means Toronto, maybe?
Right? I mean, fingers crossed, but we'll see kind of what happens. I think that there are hundreds and hundreds of artists who haven't gotten to tour for years. So everyone's kind of competing for a good spot. So hopefully I can do something because playing shows is my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite aspect of music.
Well, we're looking forward to you coming here in Toronto and just getting your music out there. Congratulations on this great single. Congratulations on this new EP as we speak out today. Yay! And just the fact of, I love the fact that you are challenging what is ever out there and making things happen, whether it be what we see, what we hear, or budgets. Every which way. Congratulations and all the success, and looking forward to more and what you do in the future. Thank you so much for the
Thank you.
interview.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me.